Could 100,000 Iraqi dinar be worth $322,000? Unpacking the 2025 revaluation buzz. Welcome back to my channel, Iraqi Dinar RV. Imagine waking up one day to find your 100,000 Iraqi dinar IQD worth over $300,000. Sounds like fantasy? Maybe. But this is exactly the kind of speculation making waves in global currency circles. As we head deeper into 2025, new discussions involving the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and Iraq's economic leadership are sparking renewed interest in the possible revaluation of the Iraqi dinar, and some say the outcome could be life-changing. In this article, we'll break down what's really happening, examine the claims behind the $322,000 figure, and look at the economic steps Iraq is taking to turn theory into reality. Whether you're an investor, collector, or simply someone intrigued by international finance, this is a moment worth watching. The IMF and Iraq in 2025. What's changed? Recently, reports have surfaced suggesting the IMF acknowledged Iraq's progress in stabilizing its economy. According to unofficial discussions held earlier this year, the country has made headway in financial reform, prompting speculation that a revaluation of the dinar could be on the table. A currency revaluation refers to a deliberate increase in the value of a nation's currency relative to others, most notably the US dollar. If the dinar's value rises substantially, current holders of IQD, especially those outside of Iraq, could see significant returns. The number $322,000 is being tossed around as a hypothetical valuation, based on a proposed exchange rate of $3.22 per 1 IQD, a figure loosely tied to historical values the currency once held. At that rate, 100,000 dinars would equal $322,000 USD. But is this realistic or just hopeful thinking? A look back. How did Iraq's currency decline? To understand where Iraq is going, it's important to remember where it's been. Over the past few decades, Iraq has suffered through war, sanctions, political instability, and economic upheaval. These events heavily devalued its once strong currency. In the 1970s and early 1980s, Iraq had one of the strongest currencies in the Middle East. However, a series of geopolitical and economic disasters, including the Iran-Iraq War, the Gulf War, and the 2003 US-led invasion, led to the collapse of Iraq's financial infrastructure. Today, the Iraqi dinar trades at a fraction of its former value, with locals often needing large stacks of cash for basic purchases. This is where the idea of revaluation comes in, to restore the dinar's power and simplify economic transactions. Iraq's economic reform strategy. The Iraqi government has taken a multi-pronged approach to rebuilding its economy. Some of these efforts include modernizing the banking system, cracking down on corruption, strengthening ties with international financial organizations like the IMF and World Bank, removing excess zeros from the currency, redenomination, using oil revenue to build foreign currency reserves, while redenomination is a cosmetic change that simplifies currency usage. Revaluation actually increases the dinar's purchasing power. Both could happen together, but revaluation has far more potential impact, especially for foreign holders. As Iraq aims to increase foreign investment and public confidence, a stronger dinar could be part of a broader plan to achieve long-term economic stability. Breaking down the $322,000 projection, let's look at the math. At a hypothetical rate of $3.22 per 1 IQD, 100,000 dinars would be worth $322,000 USD. This figure is not random. It reflects rates from the dinar's golden years. However, it's crucial to note that Iraq's present-day economic situation is very different. Reaching this valuation would require massive structural reforms, deep reserves of foreign currency, strict inflation control, and global confidence in Iraq's financial system. Some analysts say this target is overly optimistic, while others believe it's possible, but only through gradual stages over several years, not overnight. Why the IMF might support a revaluation? Supporters of the revaluation idea argue that a stronger dinar would benefit Iraq's economy in multiple ways. Attract more foreign direct investment, strengthen purchasing power for Iraqi citizens, reduce reliance on the US dollar, make imports cheaper, and reduce inflation, bolster public trust in the banking system. The IMF's primary role is to promote global financial stability. If they believe Iraq is on the right path, They might back a revaluation as part of a broader economic recovery plan. But it would come with conditions. Iraq would need to demonstrate sound fiscal policy, low corruption, and strong financial oversight. The people factor. What it means for Iraqis, for the average Iraqi, a revaluation could represent hope. Many citizens have lost faith in their currency due to years of volatility and inflation. If the dinar strengthens, everyday people might finally regain the ability to save money, afford better goods, and build a stable future. But this would also require a massive public education campaign. People need to understand what a revaluation means, how to exchange old bills, and how to avoid scams or counterfeit notes. Expect mobile apps, awareness drives, and school programs to play a key role if revaluation becomes a reality. Global investors. Waiting on the sidelines outside Iraq, there's a dedicated group of investors who have held dinars for years in hopes of a major payoff. For them, the $322,000 scenario is the dream. But caution is advised. While speculation is high, nothing is guaranteed. Economic transformations are slow and require years of careful planning and execution. Those with IQD holdings should treat this as a long-term possibility, not a quick path to wealth. Learning from other countries' revaluation isn't unprecedented. Kuwait successfully revalued its currency after the Gulf War. Today, the Kuwaiti dinar is one of the strongest in the world. Germany also overhauled its monetary system after WWII, rebuilding its economy from scratch. But there are also warning signs. Zimbabwe, for example, suffered from hyperinflation and failed currency resets. Iraq's challenge will be balancing ambition with caution and ensuring reforms are both real and sustained. Oil. The economic engine behind the dinar oil remains Iraq's biggest asset. With some of the world's largest reserves and strong 2025 export revenues, the country is in a better position now to support its currency with real value. Iraq's Ministry of Finance is reportedly working to channel oil profits into foreign reserves, which could back a higher exchange rate. The stronger the reserves, the greater the global confidence in a potential revaluation. Conclusion. Is the dinar's rise possible or just a dream? The talk of 100,000 IQD becoming $322,000 may seem far-fetched, but it's rooted in real economic aspirations. The Iraqi government and the IMF are slowly building the groundwork. With time, discipline, and international support, it's not impossible, just highly conditional. The smart move: stay informed, follow trusted news. Be cautious about bold claims online. And if you're holding dinars, don't make financial decisions based solely on hype. Consult experts and diversify your investments. The story of Iraq's currency revaluation is still being written. Whether it ends in a financial boom or remains a hopeful myth will depend on the months and years ahead. Disclaimer. This article is intended for educational purposes only and does not constitute financial, legal, or tax advice. The foreign exchange market is inherently risky and prone to misinformation. Consult with qualified professionals before making any investment decision. Iraqi Dinar RV is not liable for any losses or damages resulting from the use or reliance on this content.